Welcome everybody, welcome to the N64 Memories podcast, welcome to episode 3. Thank you for joining me wherever you are in the world, I really appreciate it. So no guest today, it's just me, and the core principle of this blog, if you've watched the first 2 episodes, is memories. And for this episode I've chosen my favourite Nintendo 64 game to feature on episode 3, and that is Goldeneye 64. Goldeneye 007, that's right. Absolutely my favourite game on the Nintendo 64, and I couldn't think of the more perfect game to feature on this episode. So I want to talk about my memories of this game. Now, I saw the film in 1995, and the game didn't come out till 1997. And, I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't really remember any major hype for this game. Everyone was on about Mario 64, Star Fox 64, Mario Kart 64, Zelda, which was still a long way away, but I don't remember loads of people talking about GoldenEye. It wasn't until really I saw the review in N64 magazine and it got 94%, and I thought, well, that's really good, I've got to check this game out. And, you know, I did have the money enough to buy it, and I went out and bought it, and I was absolutely blown away, as I'm sure you were. And I have some really core memories of this game from 1997 and 1998 onwards. And I'm going to share a few of them with you right now. So, I suppose the first memory I have is the first time I played it, and the opening to Dam. The opening to Dam was amazing, wasn't it? Like the way it just panned through the level, you saw the truck making its way through, and it went into Pierce Brosnan's perspective, and he started the level off. Absolutely fantastic. I was just blown away from the very beginning, and absolutely thoroughly enjoyed playing through the agent level, because I think the way they captured the difficulty was perfect. Agent level was a great introduction to all the levels. Got obviously more challenging towards the end. Secret Agent cranked it up a notch, and then 00 Agent really cranked it up in order to unlock the Egyptian level when you completed all the levels at 00 Agent. Really fantastic. So that opening, the first time I played it, absolutely brilliant. Another core memory I have of GoldenEye 007 is actually Bunker 2. And on Secret Agent, it took me ages to figure that level out. I don't know about you, but I was going gung-ho, I think, to begin with, quite a number of times. And the enemies that were spawning just absolutely destroyed me. And I was figuring, I'm not going to be able to do this. And then I realised a bit of espionage was needed, a little bit of sneaking through, working it through bit by bit, picking off a few people, working my way through the level that way, and eventually I completed it. But I remember that just being absolutely confused about how I was going to achieve Bunker 2 just on Secret Agent, let alone 00 Agent. Another major memory I have personally is Control and protecting Natalia. My goodness, it got difficult, didn't it? Agent was fine. I think Secret Agent was fine as well. 00 Agent, that was tough. Protecting her on that was really tough. And I'll tell you what, this one time, I had protected her. I'd done it. She was off. She was gone. Yes, here I go. First time I'd done it. I went through, went into the next room, couple of guards, another mainframe, planted it on the mainframe, into the next room. I completely forgot to blow up that final mainframe. Completely forgot. So I've whizzed through up to the lift, got into the lift, and you know when you haven't completed the level, because it doesn't give you the little cutscene at the end of the level. It just fades to black and then straight to the sort of credits bit at the end where you see your score, etc. And I was just, the disappointment, the anger at myself as well when I saw I'd failed that objective to blow up all the mainframes because I'd forgotten that last one. Yeah, fuming, absolutely fuming. And after that, I know I completed the level eventually. How many more times it took me, I really don't know. And I suppose I have lots of memories. A final core memory for the single player mode, I think, was Caverns. Again, on Double O Agent, not destroying that radio was really, really tough. The rest of the level, I think, is absolutely fine before and after that moment. But just making sure you don't hit one of those barrels, those explosive barrels, and picking off those guards near those without taking too much damage yourself on Double O Agent, because taking too much damage and you're not going to get through the rest of the level. And again, when you do it, when you protect that radio and you contact Jack Wade, the adrenaline's going, isn't it? And you know you've got to get through to the end of the level, because how many chances are you going to get on that? So I really, really remember doing that level as well on Double O Agent. Obviously, I have lots more, and I'm sure you do as well. So feel free to stick some of your core memories of Goldeneye down in the comments. That would be really, really fantastic to hear yours as well. But I think we all know the core memories we have of this game is the multiplayer. It is, isn't it? Surely. Having 3 friends round, or going around someone's house with some mates and playing the multiplayer. To think that was a last minute addition, relatively, a last few months of production. Absolutely brilliant. Genius. For me, it's the summer of 1998, I remember. I was 14 years old, and we did not see much sun that summer, because whenever all 4 of us were available, we weren't on holiday or something, we were around my friend's house, all 4 of us, him and three of us, crammed into his room, playing multiplayer Goldeneye for hours, absolutely hours, for many, many days in that summer holiday. When we were off from school. And I really remember that. I remember who the friends were. I remember some of the battles we had. I remember our friend's mum bringing up food for us, food and drink to keep us going. Absolutely fantastic memories. And I think something that, today's generation are missing if they're just playing on their own, but speaking to friends on headsets. It's not the same. I'm sure it's not the same as having 4 of you in a room crowded around a little telly, playing Goldeneye 007 multiplayer. Really fantastic. So those are my core memories of Goldeneye 007. I'd love to hear yours as well. Just for the last few minutes of this episode, I'm going to think about what Goldeneye 007 inspired later on the Nintendo 64. Because as you know, the same development team went on to develop this, Perfect Dark. Absolutely brilliant again. And everything that was brilliant about GoldenEye 007 was just cranked up 10 times, wasn't it, in Perfect Dark? The multiplayer was better. The levels were more intricate and more varied. The weapons were amazing. The AI for the enemies was improved. So much they improved upon GoldenEye 007. And you might be thinking, well, why isn't that your favourite game? And I just think, I like James Bond. And I think because it came first, because I had more time with that game, because I have more core memories with my friends of GoldenEye 007, that is my favourite game. But objectively, Perfect Dark is the better game. It's an absolutely fantastic game. And I'm sure you have checked it out and you've seen it. If you haven't, you have to go and play it. Because it gave the creators of GoldenEye more freedom with their own character and their own storyline and their own levels, rather than just having to base it upon a film. So I can see why they didn't want to do another 007 game. Perfect Dark is brilliant. But I also want to talk about another James Bond game on the Nintendo 64. I'm sure you're aware. And it is The World Is Not Enough, which came out in the same year as Perfect Dark in 2000. And, okay, it's not as good as GoldenEye, it's not as good as Perfect Dark, but it is a really, really solid first-person shooter and a really, really decent James Bond game. Much better than Tomorrow Never Dies on the PlayStation 1. So if you've avoided it or just thought, it's nothing compared to Goldeneye, you've got to go and play it. Okay, yeah, it's not as good as Goldeneye, but it is a really, really fantastic game in its own right, especially single player. I have great memories. I remember buying it. I remember playing it for the first time and thinking, actually, I'm really enjoying this. It felt like the successor to Goldeneye that we were all wanting. I know Perfect Dark is the spiritual successor, but The World Is Not Enough feels like the true sequel to Goldeneye, because I think the developers took everything that was great about Goldeneye and just said, let's replicate it. I mean, if it isn't broken, why fix it? Kind of attitude. And I don't blame them. And it got decent scores in magazines. And I have really good memories of playing through this game and just being like pleasantly surprised and feeling like I had another Goldeneye in my hands, another Goldeneye cartridge in my Nintendo 64. I can't remember off the top of my head which one came first, but obviously Perfect Dark and The World Is Not Enough battled for my attention in 2000, and Majora's Mask, actually, in fact. So the end of the Nintendo 64's life had some proper bangers as well. I absolutely think so. So there you go. That is my first kind of solo featured episode on a particular game. There'll be, or genre maybe. There'll be future ones coming soon. But I had to start with GoldenEye 64. Once again, absolutely my favourite game on the Nintendo 64. Absolutely no doubt. There you go. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Drop some comments about your memories of GoldenEye, please, in the video or on my Facebook page, www.facebook.com/N64memories. See you soon. Thank you for joining. Bye.